Let a lot of people know that are unaware of our culture still lives in and amongst all these buildings here, in and amongst this water, the bushland, and all the suburbs through here, and above everything. Our culture still lives, and we carry it proudly and share with everyone and anyone who would like to listen and learn. Not only just sharing, but learning other people's cultures and beings and everything, which I believe makes us stronger people. I am involved with accessibility in the fact that I own a company called Perth Tactiles, and we provide tactiles throughout the state, around the metropolitan area obviously, and have been doing it for 17 years, myself and my partner. She's the gun of the operation, I must admit, and we have worked together. We are actually life partners as well, so a lot of people say, how do you do it? And I don't know, it just happens. So, but like I said, she's a big part of that. So it's a bit honour for me to be here with you tonight to share. I want to leave you with a song. This song is a song that comes out of a place we call Karkarap. It's actually Kings Park down the way. And it sings of the Yarlo, the spider. My way of singing about it is that I sing of the spider's web. Because as we all know how beautifully and intricately a spider's web is, and how it's connected to itself, it is also connected to the country. So when something touches that web, the old spider knows that there's someone in its web because of that reaction. It's like us as people. I believe we are all connected in some way, shape or form. We're all connected, whether we know it, believe it or understand it. We are all connected, and I believe when we do things in life, we need to make sure they're positive things, because that reaction that goes down throughout that web is going to be received by someone, and we need to make sure it's a positive thing, because I reckon 9 times out of 10 it's going to be our kids that are going to be receiving that. So we need to make sure that they're looked after and everything in all aspects. I grew up in a little place called Kellerberrin, about out east of here, halfway to Kalgoorlie. I have 5 brothers and 1 sister, and it goes without saying who ran that house. But we grew up in a very strong, staunch family out there, and we had the best time living out there growing up before we moved to the city. It was still just as good here, but we were told by our parents to bring our culture with us, remember where you come from, and to look after country and look after each other. So in that web scenario that I just painted, I think we're all connected in some way, shape or form. So this song comes from out of Karkarap, which is Kings Park. And ngalaka nija na kia na yera, and nyongi, nyonga bujawa nija na karli bamin. When we sing and dance in our country down here, our karlis, our boomerangs are our instruments for songs, dances and ceremonies. As we all know, the didgeridoo, the yaraki, is a beautiful instrument. It comes traditionally from the northern part of Australia. It's one of the reasons I don't play it. And the other reason is I can't play one. So I will stick with these. Wanare gamalana, wanare gamalana, boyungoda, wanengo, boyungoda, wanengo, wanare gamalana, ye boyungoda. Wanare gamalana, wanare gamalana, ye boyungoda, wanengo, boyungoda, wanengo, wanare gamalana, ye boyungoda, wanengo. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you to Access Australia for having me here and acknowledging my people. We don't really have a word for goodbye in our language, because we always look forward to seeing one another again. So what I like to say is, when we see one another again next time, we'll talk again then. Take care, safe travels, and God bless. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Matthew, for that warm and generous welcome. Okay, so as Scott makes his way to the stage, I would like to also acknowledge that we are standing here on Whadjuk Noongar country and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. We have a great evening lined up for you tonight, and we warmly welcome you all to the celebration of excellence in digital accessibility. As I mentioned before, my name is Justin Brown, and I'll be your MC for the awards tonight. This is a nice break from my usual role as a Professor of Learning Innovation at Edithcowan University and currently as the Acting Director of the Centre for Employability. I'm passionate about digital accessibility and also inclusive employability. Okay, so Scott's here now, so I will warmly hand over to Scott.
Thank you, Justin, and also what a fantastic welcome to country. I'd also like to pay my respects to the Whadjuk Noongar people and elders past and present. So we're here. Welcome everyone to the 4th Australian Access Awards 2025. Whether you're here in this fantastic venue of Optus Stadium in Perth or joining us in many of the awards parties happening around Australia, we welcome you to celebrate all things digital access. I'd particularly like to say a special thank you to the Minister for Disability Services, the Honourable Hannah Beasley. Minister, as we were saying earlier, I can't begin to imagine what your calendar looks like at this time of year. We're incredibly grateful for you being here and your support of digital access issues. I'd like to also thank Senator Jordan Steele-John. The Senator has been here for every one of our 4 Australian Access Awards, and again, your commitment is really, absolutely. Thank you again for joining us tonight. I'd like to thank Professor Justin Brown for emceeing again. Always does a stellar job. And also, there's a lot of technical wizardry happening behind the scenes tonight to make captioning happen, to make audio description happen. So a shout out to the data crew with Jackie taking the lead there. Also, huge thank you to everyone at Optus Stadium and all the AV behind the scenes, and also our fantastic Auslan interpreters. So, we really appreciate so much great accessibility happening both in the room and making it all happen out there as well. So thank you. Just before I get into about the accessibility and the Access Awards, I just want to make a little point of clarification. So many of you have come to me over the past few months and said, look, we really like the idea of the Access Awards being at Optus Stadium, but can you combine it with a game of footy? So I do want to offer an apology. We couldn't quite figure out how to join this together with a game of footy. However, I did grow up in a family where my dad used to play for the East Perth Royals, and he taught me to kick a footy pretty well. So I figure that if someone's got a footy and wants to have that conversation after the awards, we can work something out, I reckon. So just thought I'd put that out there. But today really is about celebrating digital access. To share a little bit about the organisation I represent, Centre for Accessibility Australia is dedicated to alleviating hardship caused by digital access issues for people with disability, their families and carers. And in order to make accessibility happen, effectively 2 things need to occur. One is we need to make sure that people with disability have the right tools in their device of choice. And secondly, we need to make sure that content is created in a way that works with those tools. And when those 2 things come together, then independence is achieved. And it's really that independence and the organisations and individuals making that independence happen that we celebrate tonight. When you have a look at the list of finalists, you'll notice that some categories have a lot of finalists, some only have a few. And this is because we have a fantastic independent judging panel who has assessed all the nominations against the International Standard of the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, or WCAG as we tend to call it. And so what's really important about that, and also in your bags, there is a fridge magnet with all about WCAG, so at the end of the evening, please do have a look at that. What's really important about that is it does mean that if you are a finalist tonight, if we are recognising your website, your app, your initiative, or just the great work that you do in your community or workplace, then you can have the confidence that independently it has been assessed that you are making a real and profound difference to the lives of people with disability. And this means a huge difference both personally and professionally, that people are dedicating their time to ensure that accessibility happens. So although, as with all awards, some people will get trophies, some may not. Please know that if we read out your name tonight, if we read out your website, your app, your initiative, or you as an individual, we celebrate you and we recognise you for doing incredible work and the difference that that work makes. However, as with all the awards ceremonies, there are trophies up for grabs. We have 13 this evening. And people often ask us, how did you come up with the idea of the trophies? So just to give a bit of backstory for people new to the awards, we're trying to think of what was a good trophy. And really our philosophy is all about not as focused on technical compliance, but really we want to do accessibility because it's just a great thing to do. We want to focus on the carrot, not the stick. So it just made sense that our trophy should be the golden carrot. So we do have our golden carrot trophies on stage. There was one at reception if you've got a chance to have a look. And if you do get the chance to take home a golden carrot trophy, you do get to celebrate the pinnacle of digital access and excellence. But again, I can't stress enough that everyone tonight has made a huge difference and we celebrate you. Just before I take my seat, there's just a number of thank yous I'd like to go through. First and foremost to my staff. Organising something like this takes about a year from start to finish, and my staff, if you think of people who are focused, who are dedicated, who are highly skilled and are professional, then you're thinking of my team. We have 15 staff, 11 of which have lived experience of disability, and they've done not just a great job for tonight, but every day in making a difference for people with disability, and I just want to acknowledge them first and foremost. Thank you very much, staff, for the work you do. So anyone wearing a lanyard tonight, please thank them personally after the awards. Also, a not-for-profit is only effectively guided if there's great strategic and governance as a direction of that. And so I just want to acknowledge our fantastic board led by our chair, Dawn, who you'll get to meet shortly. The board has just been incredible guidance for us. I also would like to acknowledge inaugural chair and outgoing board member Marina Ray, who served for 5 years and is stepping down from the board. Marina, I can't even begin to describe what you have done for the organisation, the difference you've made, and my own personal growth. And Marina, I just thank you so much for the difference you've made over 5 years. Thank you. Of course, the difference between an awards being a dream and actually happening is thanks to the sponsors. And so the sponsors, we've been very fortunate to have a lot of fantastic sponsors that continue to come back all the time. I want to acknowledge Braco, Coles, the Office of Digital Government, Grackle Docs, Dormatic, Visibility and Aussie Way. We have corporate support, government support, community support, professional association support. To just have so much support means that everything you see here is possible. And I'm just incredibly grateful to our sponsors for that. So if you do see a sponsor afterwards, please thank them directly as well. And finally, to our members and supporters. Many of you are here perhaps for the first time. Some of you are members of our Friends of CFA Australia program. And you are here because you believe in what we're doing, the difference that our charity can make, and ultimately keep waving the accessibility flag and cheering us on. And we get up every day and do what we do because of your support and the care that you provide to us. And I just want to say a huge thank you to every person in the room, whether you're here physically in the room or online in the room. We can't do all this without your incredible support, and we're extremely grateful. So thank you all very much for everyone here. Very much looking forward, Minister, to your opening address, and I look forward to having a chat over drinks to hear your great stories about digital access. I wish you all the very best for the evening. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Scott. We'd obviously like to send out a very warm welcome to everyone attending and all our sponsors who are here tonight or online. Can I now call on the Honourable Hannah Beasley, Minister for Disability Services, to open our awards.
Hannah is approaching the stage. She's walking up the ramp on the left and heading towards the main lectern. And she's arriving at the lectern with her speech.
Thank you, Justin, and thank you, Scott, very much. Kaya, everybody. Nagala Karish Nunga Mort Kayan Karak Nijabuja. We acknowledge the Noongar people as the usual custodians of this land, and I pay my respects to Whadjuk Noongar elders, past and present, as well as all senior knowledge holders. And I thank Matthew Maguire for his very gracious welcome to country. I have to say, I haven't come across a single Whadjuk Noongar elder when they sing for us to welcome us to country who doesn't have the most amazing singing voice, and Matthew is way up there. So that was an absolute pleasure to receive. I also acknowledge Dr. Scott Hollier, Chief Executive Officer for the Centre for Accessibility and Chair of the Disability Services Commission. Thank you for hosting tonight's auspicious event and for the opportunity to join you. I also want to do a public shout out to Scott in terms of the role that he plays in supporting and informing me in mine. One of my very first ministerial meetings when I was appointed to the Minister for Disability Services in March was with Scott, and he's been an incredibly valuable resource for me since, and he is very good at frank and fearless advice, so I very much appreciate that. I'd also like to acknowledge Senator Jordan Steele-John, and it's wonderful to hear that you've been here for all of the awards ceremonies, and it is reflective of your commitment to the sector, so very much thank you. Dawn McCallanin, the Chair of the Board of the Centre for Accessibility, all of tonight's award finalists, sponsors and attendees, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great honour to join you this evening for the Australian Access Awards 2025. It is humbling to recognise the collective experience in this room and online, and I am proud to celebrate the many dedicated individuals and organisations who are working to make the digital world more inclusive in Australia. This is, as we've heard, the 4th Australian Access Awards to be hosted by the Centre for Accessibility. Over the last 5 years, the Centre has done incredible work to promote inclusion and reduce accessibility gaps through advocacy, research, training and celebrations like tonight. Since 2019, this event has grown in strength and provides a crucial platform to showcase outstanding digital accessibility initiatives. And I was told when I walked into the room just how big tonight's event is compared to 2 years ago and then the 2 years before that. So it's absolutely wonderful to see that growth. As Minister for Disability Services, I'm buoyed to see the passion, commitment and progressive approach to inclusiveness that these events demonstrate. The work recognised here breaks down barriers, opens doors and creates opportunities for meaningful participation across all areas of life. Advances in digital technology are increasingly expanding access for people with disability, strengthening their independence and creating sustainable pathways to income, which is something that I'm also passionate about, Professor. For the more than 515,000 Western Australians living with disability, these developments deliver meaningful benefits that enrich their communities, which in turn contributes positively to the broader economy. The Cook Government is committed to fostering inclusive communities that actively empower people with disability. This commitment, advanced in our State Disability Strategy, recognises that accessible information is fundamental to dismantling barriers, enabling full participation and driving sustained, meaningful change across social, educational and economic spheres. By prioritising accessibility in policy, communication and service design, our government seeks to create opportunities that enhance dignity, independence and well-being for everyone. Progress in technology and connectivity is expanding opportunities for people with disability to access services and participate in and contribute to their communities. This is particularly important for Western Australians living in regional and remote WA. To ensure West Australians have access to and can confidently and safely use digital technology, I am pleased that our government has invested a further $1.5 million to extend the WA Digital Inclusion Project to 2027, with the aim of improving digital inclusion through training and upskilling for people experiencing difficulties with access to digital technology. Everyone has a right to autonomy and should be supported to make decisions and exercise choice. However, people with disability can only use information to make choices and decisions when it is designed in a way that meets their needs. Tonight's awards celebrate the organisations and individuals whose exceptional dedication and innovation have translated technological progress into real-world outcomes for Australians living with disability. They recognise sustained commitment to inclusive design, practical implementation and measurable improvements in access, independence and quality of life. They showcase outstanding digital accessibility initiatives and best practice for the greater participation and inclusion of people with disability. This year, a record 126 nominations were received, which is a true reflection of the commitment towards digital inclusion. Yes, I think that deserves a round of applause.
She's waving her hands in the air, Morrisland style.
It is a true reflection of the commitment towards digital inclusion and the value that innovation in this space brings to people with disability. The resources and solutions presented by all 64 finalists are exceptional in both quality and ambition, and for me, you are all exceptional. Each finalist is pioneering in their approach and demonstrates leadership in accessibility, design, user research, technical implementation, and advocacy. But while many great initiatives are underway, too much of the digital world continues to be inaccessible. Together, we need to work to embed accessibility as an expectation, not an add-on. Technology that anticipates diverse needs turns dependence into capability and marginalisation into meaningful engagement. Accessible digital tools restore choice, enhance independence, and expand the ways people with disability can contribute to their families, workplaces, and communities. In 3 weeks, on Wednesday, the 3rd of December, we will be celebrating and acknowledging International Day of People with Disability, including through over 100 events across our great state. Celebrated globally, this important day aims to increase awareness about the importance of access and inclusion and celebrates the contributions, achievements and leadership of people with disability. This year's Western Australian theme is Celebrating Our Unity, which recognises that by working together, we build stronger communities and achieve better outcomes for people with disability. Everyone assembled here tonight is contributing to this unity, and I know that you will continue to provide exemplary leadership and drive meaningful progress, and I thank you for it. You are leaders in a future where accessible information is standard practice across government, industry and society. Thank you again for inviting me to open this awards event, and please join me in congratulating all of our finalists for the incredible work they continue to do. I hope everyone has an enjoyable evening. Thank you.
The Minister Cox, waves, looks the left turn and returns to her seat.
Thank you so much to the Honourable Hannah Beasley. I would now like to introduce our next presenter, Laura Moore from Coles.
Laura's walking up to the stage. She's got flowing curly hair. She's carrying her phone, which has her notes on. It's very MIDI colourful.
Good evening, everyone. I work in digital accessibility for around the last 6 or 7 years, and tonight I'll be presenting the first award of the 2025 Australian Access Awards. So the first category is Not-for-Profit and Community Website of the Year. The finalists are Learn to Adult, Mosaic, Sea Dragon Search, Holy Oak, Katanning Hub Community Resource Centre, Ngala, Outlook Australia, Learning Links, Neve, Women with Disabilities Australia, AAA Play, RecLink Australia, Volunteering Gateway, Volunteering Australia, HBF, My HBF, with HBF Health Insurance, Ability Heroes Limited, See Differently Shop, See Differently with the Royal Society of the Blind, and the Aphasia Research Library from the University of Queensland. And the winner is Volunteering Australia, Volunteering Gateway. Congratulations.
I was really hoping I wouldn't be first because I don't have a model for how the speech is meant to go. My name is Sarah and I'm delighted to be accepting this award on behalf of Volunteering Australia. Volunteering is a powerful incubator for inclusion, but we know that access to volunteering is not equal. The Volunteering Gateway is an important, powerful piece of infrastructure that is enabling managers of volunteers and leaders of volunteers nationwide to invest in the volunteer experience, to ensure that people of all abilities, from all backgrounds and with all needs, are able to enjoy the spoils of volunteering and what it can bring to their lives. And a project like this would not be possible without a phenomenal team. So I'd like to thank the Department of Social Services for funding the Volunteering Gateway, to Portable Australia, our digital partner, Integrity, our marketing partner, Brian and the team here at Accessibility Australia, you can tell I'm nervous, for rigorously human-centred design testing of the website itself, and of course to all of the volunteers, volunteer managers, board members, committees, our IT and governance committee, who made sure that this project aims to meet the needs of all Australians and make volunteering even more pivotal in our everyday lives. Thank you so much. I think that was more than 30 seconds.
Certificate. There's a bit of a pause. Oh, she's holding the certificate now to get a photo.
Have we got any photo?
Yes.
Not sure. I'm not the one to speak to everyone.
So he's come forward.
Don't do what I did.
And then getting a position, having a photo taken.
Thanks so much. So the second category I'll be presenting is the Not-for-Profit Community App of the Year. And there was one and only finalist, which is the Ember app from the Flagstaff group. And, no surprise, the winner is Ember app, the Flagstaff group. So unfortunately the winner isn't able to make it tonight, but we'll view a video acceptance speech instead.
And the video's now on the screen.
Hi, I'm Alison from the Flagstaff Group, and we are the proud winner of the Access Awards Not-for-Profit App of the Year for our emergency preparedness app, Ember. The apps we have done is an emergency preparedness app called Ember app and our non-verbal communication app that assists in communicating with people who are non-verbal, help with breathing and anxiety during an emergency situation, and there's also lots of hints. We hope you enjoy the apps.
Presented by the Flagstaff group.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Laura. I would now like to introduce our next presenter, Board Chair Dawn McLennan, Board Chair for CFA Australia.
Dawn is approaching the stage. She has blonde wavy hair and is wearing a light blue and white long.
Thank you. Well, I didn't realise how many people were in the room from sitting at the front. There is a huge room full of people. So it is an absolute pleasure to be here and also to be part of Centre for Accessibility. We all heard how Scott talked so highly of his team and the board and all the stakeholders involved. It really is a team effort in highlighting the great stuff that people are doing to ensure that we do live in an accessible world. So congratulations to everybody who did make the finalists. It was very tough. I have been asked a couple of times tonight whether I was involved in assessing the finalists, and that was an absolute no. They have been assessed by people that are very qualified, so if you have made it through, you're doing a terrific job. Thank you so much. So the awards that I am presenting tonight, the first one is for the government website of the year. And the finalists are the Department of Creative Industries, Tourism and Sport, Western Australia. wa.gov.au, Department of Premier and Cabinet, Western Australia. DFARS Recovery Website, Department of Fire and Emergency Services, Western Australia. MyGov Services, Australia. WA Maritime Museum. New South Wales Government. Multicultural New South Wales. Western Australia Museum. GESB. Department of Social Services. And I love this one. Mouthful of Dust. States Library of Victoria. Children's Court of Western Australia, Department of Justice, Western Australia, National Office for Child Safety, Transport WA, Department of Transport and Major Infrastructure, Western Australia. And the winner is New South Wales Government. Congratulations.
I didn't write my speech down because I wasn't expecting to win, but I'm going to wing it. Thank you so much to the Centre for Accessibility. Thank you to the judging panel. Congratulations to all the finalists. I am so amazed. It is so incredible to see a room of people who are passionate and actively working towards equal access and inclusion on all of our digital channels. Sometimes you feel like you're just like the lone wolf. You're constantly asking for people to make things more accessible. We started with 5 people. We were writing better alt tags and figuring out what colour contrast was 10 years ago. It's been this 10-year journey. We now have 100 people from QAs, developers, content design, product, many, many more working on the New South Wales Government website. We're all passionate about accessibility. We know it's a must-have, not a nice-to-have. And, you know, we still think we're at the very, very early of our accessibility maturity. People still tell us when we're wrong. So to get this is just for the team. We're so motivated to keep going and to do better. So thank you so much.
And I'm also presenting another category, and that's for the Government App of the Year. We have one finalist, which is Queensland Digital Licence App, Queensland Government Department of Customer Services, Open Data and Small and Family Businesses. They're the winners. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for this award. It is an absolute honour and great pleasure to be able to accept this award and represent our very passionate and dedicated team from the Department of Customer Services, Open Data, Small and Family Business in Queensland, a lot of which are actually at home late at night watching along. It's greatly appreciated. Look, our approach has been to make the digital licence app designed by Queenslanders for Queenslanders, and that of course has included people with accessibility needs. Of course. So we've built in accessibility as a core requirement right from the very beginning of our app development, making sure that we included people with accessibility in all of our co-design, our product testing, really to make sure that what we delivered was fit for purpose. And look, even though we are the only app that's in the category, our app is actually truly, truly accessible, and you can have a look at it in the App Store. We've got our app nutritional label up in there so that you can actually see what we've included. So throwing out the gauntlet there for 2026 for sure. But look, thank you very much also to our vendors who've supported us on the journey. We're really looking forward to making the app even more accessible in the future and being able to add to that app nutritional panel in the App Store. So look, on behalf of the whole team, and again from those watching at home from the team, thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, Thank you so much, Dawn. I'd like to introduce our next presenter, Adam Edwards from the Department of the Premier and Cabinet.
Adam's got dark hair, he's wearing a white jacket, a white t-shirt and dark trousers. He's got a
Hi everyone. It's a pleasure to be here and join you at the Accessibility Awards tonight, where we come together and celebrate those who are making the digital world more inclusive and accessible for all Australians. This has been a busy month for accessibility aficionados. Just last week we celebrated the launch of the 2025 Australian Digital Inclusion Index, which highlights the progress and challenges we face in ensuring every Australian can participate fully in our increasingly digital society. The report reminds us that digital inclusion is built on three essential pillars: accessibility, affordability, and ability. As we heard today, accessibility is about designing digital spaces so that everyone, regardless of their ability, can interact, learn, and thrive online. It's about making websites, apps, platforms usable by people with disabilities, but it's also about recognising the diverse needs of all users. True accessibility opens the doors and breaks barriers, allowing people to go beyond simply getting online and engaging in a meaningful digital content. The second pillar, affordability, ensures that people have the necessary devices and connectivity to get online. While Australia has made huge strides in improving internet coverage and affordability, we know that there are still gaps, especially in our rural and remote areas and among very vulnerable communities. Digital inclusion means closing those gaps so no one is left behind. And finally, ability. This is about giving people the skills and confidence to use digital technologies online. It's not enough to have the right device and a fast connection. People need to know how to navigate online safely, find information, and use digital tools to improve their lives. And so tonight we celebrate a website that exemplifies accessibility, and I'll be presenting the award in the category of Educational Website of the Year. And the finalists are the University of the Sunshine Coast, CQ University Australia, TAFE, Strength in Diversity, Enhancing Your Employment Journey, Edith Cowan University, TAFE New South Wales, and La Trobe University. And the winner is CQ University Australia. Congratulations. Can I invite the winners on stage to collect their trophy and make a brief speech?
In shock. Let's see if I can get some words out. Firstly, thank you so much. Accessibility has been at the heart of everything we've worked on this year. We've done a rebrand, a new website, and the core has been accessibility. At CQ, we strive to be Australia's most accessible university because we believe that everyone deserves the chance to have a higher education. I think we all believe that here. And so receiving this award really is a great reminder that we're on the right track. Thank you to CFA for all their support and knowledge this year. It really is invaluable. And we're very excited to keep growing, keep learning, and keep delivering great education for everybody. Thank you.
She steps back from the podium. She's given her award, her trophy, and we'll step forward, and we're going to get the photograph taken. Dr. Justin.
Thank you so much to Adam. Scott, I noticed that ECU didn't win that one, so the search for the new MC starts tonight. Anyway, so we now come to the Educational App of the Year, and I would like to introduce our next presenter, Aidan Metcalf, also from the Department of the Premier and Cabinet.
Aidan approaches the stage. He also has a beard and red curly hair. He's wearing an orange blazer, a maroon t-shirt and cream trousers. He's reading from his mobile.
I'm in a section of the Department of Premier and Cabinet called the Office of Digital Government, and we're thrilled to be supporting accessibility and inclusive design tonight. We strive to embed these principles in our government services, from the wa.gov.au website to the Service WA mobile app and digital identity initiatives. We commend tonight's Educational App of the Year finalists for advancing these values. The finalists are listed in order of app name. Sonokids, Moodle LMS, and CompuEd. And the winner is Moodle LMS.
Oh, wow. Glad I prepared a speech just in case. So, hi, I'm June Pataleta from the Moodle Products Group of Moodle HQ. And on behalf of the entire Moodle team and our global open source community, I would like to extend our gratitude for this incredible honor. Moodle was founded to create an online learning solution that breaks down barriers to education for millions of learners, because we believe that everyone has the right to quality education. We also believe that education is the key to a better world, and accessibility is the key that unlocks education for all. This honor fuels our commitment to continue breaking down barriers, ensuring that each release of our Moodle products, especially Moodle LMS, offers an even more accessible experience than ever. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Aidan. I would like to introduce our next presenter, Stuart Luxton, board member for CFA Australia.
Stuart approaches the stage. He is balding with glasses, is wearing a light blue suit, light blue shirt and long striped tie.
Hi everyone. I'm thrilled to be here, and I'm really lucky because I work from home. I'm able to go and spend some time in the CFA office every couple of weeks, once a week, and to see the team, the way they work, the way they collaborate, the way they get things done is really impressive. And thanks to everyone for turning up tonight. It's a really great event, and kudos to the team. They're really fantastic under your leadership, Scott. So congratulations to the team. This is a fantastic event. Tonight, I'm presenting 2 awards. The first one is Corporate Website of the Year, and the finalists are Maroomba Airlines, Information Access Group, Coles, Bunnings, Telstra Group Limited, P&N Bank, Police and Nurses Limited, Bendigo Bank, and Bank West. And the winner is Bunnings.
Wow. Were we meant to know we were going to win? Because I feel a little bit unprepared, but I did put some words together just in case this happened. Firstly, thank you, CFA, for hosting such important awards. And also a big congratulations to everyone here and the finalists. For Bunnings, it's a real honour to receive this award that recognises our progress and commitment in this space. 4 years ago, we embarked on this journey, and we actually put a Photoshop image of us as the winner as a little bit of a joke. And to think that we'll be standing up here 4 years later is totally surreal. Look, it takes more than Photoshop to win an award. It's commitment from colleagues and teammates like Georgia here with me, who's been there from the beginning. But we've had moments, it's been a long journey, like you all know. There's lots of speed bumps, potholes along the way, but we persevered, we still persevere. We know there's a long journey. So for everyone at the beginning of your journey or midway through, we know it gets hard. Keep committing to the good cause, and thank you.
Okay, so the next one is Corporate App of the Year. And the finalists again, Big W, Make It Easy, DRN1, Tab Corp, and the Coles app, Coles. And the winner is Coles.
I'd love to say I had a speech prepared, but we wouldn't be e-commerce if we did. I don't know, we had Laura Moller up here earlier, but she's been substituted for something else, as if anyone's ever shopped at Coles or Woolworths, you'd know that this is common. It's been an absolute honour working for Coles with a fantastic accessibility team, and I'd love to take all the credit for this, so I will. No, I won't. I have the pleasure of working for an amazing company that pushes accessibility from the top down. We have the support of all our leaders, and we can go to any design meeting, see any design, and someone who's not on the accessibility team will ask the question, that's great, but is it accessible? And this has really shown through, and I'm really glad that I can take this award back to Coles, to our teams, to our squads, and say thank you. And it really makes a difference and it matters. So thank you for this award, thank you to my amazing team, and thank you to Coles for supporting people with disabilities.
Okay. Can I thank Stuart very much? And I mean that because my brother thrashed Stuart's score on Gallagher, and yet he's still very kind and came up and said hello, and he never mentioned that once. So good on you, Stuart. So, just before we present the last couple of awards, what we'd like to do is have some musical entertainment. So, tonight we have Altar Boy, the dark pop band from Perth, have been bringing awareness to accessibility in live music since 2019. From the Triple J Like a Version studio to ABC's Red Rage couch, Altar Boy put Auslan at the forefront of everything they do. Please welcome Altar Boy. What?
Some fragile things need special handling. My God, what have we done to you?
Just position themselves at their various marks.
We always try to share the tenderest of care. Now look what we have put you.
With blonde hair, and to the left is the signer, Auslan interpreter. Their first song is I Repent. The Auslan interpreter is wafting his hands, signing in rhythm with the music.
We'll
Thank you so much. Thank you. We're Altar Boy, and accessibility and inclusivity is super important to us. This is Luke. He's in the band.
She points to
and
you.
I just want to say it's just so lovely to see these awards happening, and I hope that everybody can see that accessibility is kind of like an art form. Like it's not, doesn't have to be this like big serious weight. Just be like an artist, you know, and collaborate with other artists, and do it all the time. Yeah, and thank you so much for letting us play at your beautiful event. As far as summer goes, I'm not even close to wearing you like clothes when nobody's home. Now I don't see your ghost everywhere I go. As far as I know, you need me the most. Now I'm not on the inside anymore. You talk but at the same time say nothing. Now all I see is daylight when you're gone. If you don't wanna say goodbye, say goodbye. Say nothing, say nothing. Now run it back, run it back. Say nothing, say nothing. If you don't wanna say goodbye, say nothing, say nothing. Now is it so bad? You should know that. Say nothing, say nothing. It's hard to not believe I will love you less. I saw it on your sleeves, you made such a mess. Now I'm not on the inside anymore. You talk but at the same time say nothing. Now all I see is daylight when you're gone. If you don't wanna say goodbye, say goodbye. Say nothing, say nothing. Now running back, running back. Say nothing, say nothing. If you don't wanna say goodbye, say nothing, say nothing. It isn't so bad, you should know that. Say nothing, say nothing. Now run it back, run it back. It's not harder than you think. It's not like we ever burned so bright, so bright. I don't wanna hear things, so if you don't wanna say goodbye.
She raises her fist to the air.
Say nothing, say nothing. Now run it back, run it back. Say nothing, say nothing. If you don't wanna say goodbye, say nothing, say nothing. It wasn't so bad, you should know that. Say nothing, say nothing. Now run it back, run it back. If you don't wanna say goodbye, say nothing. If you don't wanna say goodbye, say nothing. If you don't wanna say goodbye, say
The Auslan interpreter raises his arms high in the air. She moves over to him and blows.
Thank you for having us. We're beautiful angels.
Act of God. She's gently waving her hands, like the Auslan interpreters. Starts singing.
Show me all your rage. Show me all your hate. Call him every name in this golden age. Cry until you
Windows in a
age.
church.
Yeah, until he
Silhouette of the
wakes.
figure of Mary.
On God's green earth, will it always hurt? Will you wait and see? You got through it before, and you will again. You're coming home with me. On God's green earth, will it always hurt? Will you wait and see? You got through it before, and you will again. You're coming home with me.
They're all waving. Auslan waving, and they all exit the stage. Auslan waving. And Justin returns back to the stage. And he
Wow,
goes
what
to
a hard act to follow. So, thank you, Altar Boy, for that amazing performance. So, we're just heading to the final part of the evening. So I'd like to welcome to the stage the next presenter, Letitia Thompson from the Centre for Accessibility Australia.
She's making her way up to the lectern on the left-hand side. And she's being assisted up onto the stage. She's wearing a short sleeve black top and black trousers. She has a short brown bob and is wearing red glasses. She's just waiting for Justin to move away from the accessible lectern. She's being assisted with her script. And the lectern's been raised to assist her as she has no hands.
I'd also like to thank Centre for Accessibility Australia for inviting me to present the next two awards. So today I'm excited to highlight the work of several remarkable initiatives nominated for Accessibility Initiative of the Year. So this award is open to any Australian project that has aimed to improve digital accessibility in the lives of people with disability. So this award is an opportunity for projects such as initiatives, prototypes, research projects, online content and anything else that's making a difference. So let's take a look at the nominees for Accessibility Initiative of the Year. DCJ Accessibility Studio, New South Wales Department of Communities and Justice. So the New South Wales Department of Communities and Justice Accessibility Studio is a dedicated space where staff can test digital products and services for accessibility issues with the goal of creating more inclusive experiences for people with disability. The studio provides hands-on training and resources, including assistive technologies and simulation equipment to help staff understand and address accessibility barriers. So by catching and fixing accessibility issues early on, the studio aims to improve the quality and accessibility of government services, ultimately benefiting citizens with disability. Mirror XR Create Digital Media. Mirror XR is Australia's first AI XR EdTech platform prioritising accessibility, integrating immersive storytelling, mental health education and digital wellbeing. Developed with community partners and backed by academic research, it features inclusive design elements like captions, voice interaction and wheelchair accessibility. Recognised nationally with awards, Mirror XR aims to make education and mental health support accessible and equitable for all Australians. Telstra Touch and Track, Telstra Group Limited. Telstra's Touch and Track is an innovative technology that enables AFL fans who are blind or with low vision to experience live games through a handheld device that tracks the ball's position in real time using AI and camera technology. Developed in collaboration with the disability community, the device provides a tactile experience, allowing fans to feel the game's actions through vibrations and tactile feedback. The technology aims to make sports more inclusive, with plans to expand more stadiums and sporting codes across Australia. Inclusive Design Research Practice, IDRP, the ABC. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation's Inclusive Design Research Practice, IDRP, is an initiative that embeds people with disability at the heart of product design. By actively involving individuals with diverse needs in research and design decision-making, the ABC ensures its digital products are both accessible and usable. This approach has led to tangible improvements, such as a simplified login process for users with cognitive disability and enhanced search functionality for those with blind or with low vision. So by prioritising inclusion, the ABC aims to create better experiences, not just for people with disability, but for all users. Surge Accessibility Suite, Surge. Surge is a digital platform that enhances accessibility and inclusion for people with disability by providing know-before-you-go information, allowing users to preview environments and plan accordingly. The platform offers features like 360-degree virtual tours, sensory guides and digital communication boards, and enables users to notify venues of their support needs in advance. Surge has been adopted by over 100 venues in Australia and New Zealand and has received global recognition for its impact on inclusion and empowerment. And the winner of the Accessibility Initiative of the Year 2025 is DCJ Accessibility Studio, New South Wales Department of Communities and Justice. Unfortunately, they are unable to be here tonight, but we have a video of them. Thank you very much.
Thank you on behalf of the Digital Experience team at the Department of Communities and Justice. We are so proud to accept this award for our innovative accessibility studio. This studio started as a really simple idea. How can we make accessibility real, practical, and part of our everyday work? We wanted to move beyond compliance to make sure that accessibility was considered early and often.
And the Accessibility Studio has empowered our people to design with inclusion at the heart of everything they do. And we've seen staff from every corner of DCJ come to the studio, use the tools, but most importantly, see things from someone else's perspective. And I think that's where real change was happening and is happening right now. In just a few months, we fixed hundreds of issues before they became actual accessibility barriers, and the demand has been incredible.
This award belongs to our whole team, our Disability Employee Network, our leaders, and everyone that shared their lived experience to help co-create this initiative.
Thank you from the Department of Communities and Justice.
Congratulations to the DCJ Accessibility Studio. Sorry, no hands. Today, we also have the privilege of recognising those who have not only championed the principles of digital inclusion, but have also made enduring contributions to the field. The award for the Hall of Fame is a fantastic acknowledgement of their outstanding work in driving positive change. Building on the momentum of the 2023 Australian Access Awards, where we celebrated 2 exceptional winners in this category, we're pleased to announce that we'll again be recognising 2 winners in 2025, the Accessibility Advocate of the Year and the Accessibility Specialist of the Year. So the nominees for the Hall of Fame are Keely Johnson. Keely, a young advocate with autism, founded Keely's Cause at 13 to provide iPads to children with autism and intellectual disability from low-income families. Her organisation bridges the digital divide, enabling those children to access essential technology and participate fully in daily life. Keely's efforts have set a national benchmark for digital accessibility and championed inclusion, independence and equity. Heron Hentry. Heron Hentry is a dedicated digital accessibility lead at the Reserve Bank of Australia. Their work has had a profound impact on the community, particularly in promoting accessibility initiatives. By facilitating a meeting between the Digital Gap Initiative and the RBA, Heron played a key role in the adoption of a resolution promoting accessibility. Heron's contributions to accessibility are a testament to a commitment to creating a more inclusive environment. Leona Holloway. Leona is a highly respected leader in the blind and low vision accessibility community. With over 2 decades of experience, she has made significant contributions to the field of accessibility. Leona's pioneering work in using 3D printing to improve access to visual information has been groundbreaking. Her research has directly influenced the adoption of 3D printing by accessibility organisations, education departments, and public services across Australia and New Zealand. Through her work, Leona has improved the independence and inclusion of people who are blind or with low vision. Anne Tonkin. Anne is a trailblazer for accessibility and inclusion, driven by her experience as a carer for her husband with a disability. Her Tonkin 10 out of 10 bill aims to revolutionise access to physical spaces and digital events, ensuring equity for people with disability. The bill proposes a practical, scalable model requiring 10% of public venues and events to accommodate wheelchair users and 10% for people with mobile disabilities. Anne's advocacy has been instrumental in promoting accessibility and inclusion, and her work is set to have a lasting impact on the lives of people with disability. Julie Grundy. Julie is a passionate advocate for web accessibility in Perth's web development community. Through her tireless efforts, she has raised awareness and educated developers on accessibility principles, fostering a cultural shift in the local tech landscape. Julie's exceptional teaching style, patience and empathy have made her a respected educator and advocate. Her work has had a lasting impact on the industry, ensuring that more people can access and interact with the web. Rosie Putland. Rosie is a proud storyteller, advocate and consultant who is dedicated to promoting accessibility and inclusion. As the co-founder of Modality Co., a digital accessibility social enterprise, Rosie empowers businesses to make their digital products and services accessible to everyone. Through her work, she provides training, consulting and coaching services to help organisations transform their digital strategies. Rosie's passion for accessibility and inclusion has made her a sought-after speaker, and her work has had a significant impact in the disability and accessibility communities. So, after all of that, the Accessibility Advocate of the Year for 2025 is Keely Johnson. Unfortunately, Keely cannot be here to accept the Golden Carrot and will be accepting the award through video, but Ella Party will also be accepting the award on behalf of Keely.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Keely from Keely's Cause. I'm so sorry I couldn't be there in person tonight, but our incredible ambassador, Australian Paralympian Ella Party, is proudly representing me in Perth. As a person with a disability, I am truly honoured to receive the Accessibility Person of the Year award and to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Through Keely's Cause, our mission has always been clear: to ensure children with disabilities have digital access and technology that open doors to learning, communication and inclusion. Thank you to the Centre for Accessibility Australia for recognising our work and for leading the way in creating a more inclusive digital world. This award reminds me why I started Keely's cause, so that no child is ever left behind. Thank you.
Letitia and Justin are working out who's going to the lectern. Speaking on behalf of Keely Johnson.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ella Azorapadi. I am a 3-time Paralympian and really proud to accept this award on behalf of Keely. Keely inspires me as a person also living with autism. She showed that no matter what challenges we face, we can still do incredible things and make a difference. Keely is proof that one person's strength can change many people's lives. Thank you for recognising her and the amazing work she does as a founder of Keely's cause. Congratulations, Keely. Thank you so much for the support. I truly appreciate this.
Congratulations, Keely, and thank you, Ella. So, now for the second award for the Hall of Fame. The Accessibility Specialist for the Australian Access Awards 2025 is Julie Grundy. Congratulations, Julie!
I genuinely was not expecting this, so I might be slightly less prepared than I should be. Thank you so much to everybody who has contributed to me being here today. Firstly, I just have people to thank. Thank you to the Perth Web Accessibility Meetup Group. So many of you here tonight, and you have been so supportive. We've shared all of our war stories as we've done these things, and all the laughs and all the good times, and it makes the hard parts of the job easier. Thank you to Derek Featherstone, to Adam Sifsoglu, the people who gave me an opportunity and a chance to get out there and actually do the work that I do. Thank you to Dr. Scott Hollier for being the best, most enthusiastic cheerleader anyone could ever wish for. And if you've ever met him, you know that that's just the beginning and end of Scott. He's all about the enthusiasm. For my team at Entopia, thank you for keeping me grounded and asking me all the difficult questions that enable me to help teach other people how to do this work. And if anyone here tonight, this is your first foray into the digital accessibility space, welcome, hi. When I started this line of work, I was very flattered. Roger Hudson, for people who know him, had assessed some of my work and said that it had exemplary accessibility. And I was deeply flattered and thought I should try and specialise in this. And I thought, though, that I was perhaps narrowing my focus too much. as a developer, and I thought that I didn't know anyone with disability. Silly me. I now know how wrong I was, and I know how much my world has opened up by doing this work, by teaching and supporting other people in their journey. It makes my world and my life richer. So thank you to everyone who has ever taught me anything. And if there's anything you would like to learn from me, ping me. It's cool. I'll shush now. Bye.
Okay, so thank you very much, Tisha. So we are now honoured to welcome and introduce Senator Jordan Steele-John, who will present our final 2 awards. As Jordan makes his way to the stage, Jordan Steele-John is an Australian Greens Senator from Western Australia and is a passionate disability rights advocate. Elected to the Senate at the age of 23, Jordan's goal is to challenge the boundaries of political norms, both in the Senate and the community, to create a juster and peaceful future. He has represented West Australia in the Senate since 2017. Welcome, Jordan.
Justin is moving to the side. Senator Jordan Steele-John.
All right, hello. So, I'm so excited to be here this evening. I want to begin by acknowledging that we are on unceded Noongar Whadjuk Budja, and pay respect to elders past and present. I'm going to lean a little bit more into the mic. Is that, aha, there we go, that's better. All right, so when Justin called my name just a moment ago, I realised that I was located still in my seat rather than at the end of the ramp where I was meant to be. And in my haste to get to my mark, I ran over the tail of a service dog. I very much apologise to the lovely little buddy in the front seat, and it can only go up from here at this point. It really is, it is a remarkable thing to be here this evening. As Scott mentioned, I've had the privilege of being present at each one of these award ceremonies, and each year I've had the opportunity to talk with the advocates and experts and pioneers in this space as we have gone together from strength to strength. And tonight is a celebration of all that you have accomplished, all that you have contributed, and it is an opportunity to mark the huge progress that has been made, because when sitting in a position of power and influence, or having in your hands an opportunity to make a platform or an application better so that it works for people and it supports their rights, you got to work, you did that work, and made those platforms a reality for people. So first of all, give yourselves a well-deserved round of applause. I also want to particularly thank Altar Boy for that extraordinary performance. And their observation of the similarity between art and access. And I think that calls us and gives us a wonderful opportunity to reflect on just how profound the opportunities for innovation are when we place access at the centre of everything that we do in the digital space. And when we remember that there is no such thing as an artificial dividing line between the digital and the physical place and space. They are intimately and inextricably connected. It really is a beautiful sentiment. I want to thank Scott and his team for putting this event on tonight. Once again, it is a wonderful thing to be part of. It's an incredibly logistically difficult event to run, I'm sure, and it takes a year. It happens once every 2 years because it takes a year to plan. But it's a pleasure to be here once again. And now I will pivot to the finalists for the 2 awards that I'm going to be presenting. Now, they are on my phone, and it is my parliamentary work phone, which requires a code to unlock. So you'll forgive me for a moment while I just get it out of my pocket, open it, and then scroll back down to the list that I have in front of me. If anyone is here from Microsoft Outlook, why do you hate us? What did we do? Oh, wonderful. Ah, here it is on a piece of paper. Well, we really are at the forefront of innovation now, folks. You were running so wonderfully on time, and then you gave the last 2 awards to a politician, and look where we are. Thank you very much. So, the first award that I am presenting today, it scrolled me back up to the top. There we go. Oh, what? It really has too. Okay, I'm not kidding. If anyone from Microsoft is here. All right. So the first award that I'm presenting is the award for the Accessible App of the Year. Now, this is an incredible honour to give this award. And I'm just checking, I don't have a list of finalists here on this digital piece of paper, so I suspect I'm just going to read out, Justin, the winner straight away. Is that the... Yeah. It's all right, we'll get there eventually, folks. Talk among yourselves. I don't... I think I just get to give good news. Yes, indeed. While Justin finds it, I do have to feel a little bit sorry for anyone that went up against Bunnings tonight for the most accessible corporate app, because at the end of the day, people could put forward, better options or alternatives, but they're just going to beat it by 10% every time. Lowest prices really are just the beginning. So just the finalists. All right then. Well, it'll mark the very first time that somebody from this particular state has been happy to hear a Greens MP say their name. But the award goes to the Queensland Government, the Queensland Digital Licence App.
Unprepared. We were a one-hit wonder. Here we are again.
Wow, what a great honour. We've embarked on an app that is the first of its kind in the country. It's a digital licence app. Other states have also got a digital driver licence app. We were the first to adopt an international standard that's now, I guess, being taken up more broadly across the country, but also in other states and territories internationally. Essentially what it means is that you can take your driver's licence, your proof of age card, and your recreational marine licence, and more recently all of the Queensland Building and Construction Commission licences. We've got about 10, well, actually,
9 for QCC.
Yeah, so about a dozen credentials now, but you can actually take them and share them and present them anywhere in the world where they are, where that international standard is supported. We've got over 1.2 million customers now in Queensland using that, and obviously that extends to all of Queenslanders with accessibility needs. They were able to utilise that as well, certainly for people that have got photo identification cards, not necessarily just restricted to people with a driver's licence. So look, it's a really great honour. We're totally shocked and unprepared to accept this, but we graciously accept it, and the team will be very, very excited to hear that we've won this award as well tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so another round of applause for the Queensland Government. Well done, folks. It is so excellent to see so many government departments triumphing this evening. It really does give me a sense of hope and energy that the departments that are in charge of upholding our rights as disabled people are leading the way in these places. And spaces was the word I was looking for. And finally tonight, the award for the Accessible Website of the Year. I am very proud to say that the winner of this award is the New South Wales Government.
We were up for another one, so I can wing it again. Oh no, I've lost my train of thought. I can tell you more about our website. So we're currently in the middle of a project to migrate 400 government websites, the government websites everywhere, into one place, nsw.gov.au. And what that means is you as a citizen don't need to go to 500 different websites, and you also don't need to know which agency is responsible for the thing that you're looking for, because it's all on nsw.gov.au. That's why accessibility is so important, because we're going to have 8 million people coming to our website. And the good news is, as we've been doing this over the last 4 years, we actually have about 24% accessibility uplift from the old websites that we're retiring and migrating onto nsw.gov.au. So this is really good. As I said before, it's really motivating us to keep progressing. We've got about 200 websites left. And then the accessibility of all of the New South Wales government information is going to be amazing. It's going to be in one place. And many of you are not from New South Wales, but maybe you'll visit our website as well. Thank you so much.
Bad news, Jordan. According to this, you need to come back up onto the stage. So, you know, we've got an academic and a politician. What could possibly go wrong? So we're just finalising now, everyone. So we'd like to thank you, Scott, Minister Beasley, Senator Steele-John, and all our participants, judges, presenters, performers, nominees, finalists, winners. Please thank Optus Stadium and our gracious hosts. So thanks as well to obviously all the organisers, volunteers, interpreters, the data production and technical team, and obviously the catering teams. These awards have been generously supported by Graco, the Department of the Premier and Cabinet, Office of Digital Government, Coles, Grackle Docs, Aussie Way, Visibility and Dormatics. Okay, I'd like to invite all the finalists and all the winners onto the stage for our traditional group photo. Meanwhile, I'll ask our guests to please enjoy some drinkies on level 1 and stay and have a chat to the finalists and the winners themselves. Thanks, everybody. Sorry everyone, before you go running to the drinks, apparently the drinks are here. So my last mistake of the evening.